Welcome to the question and answer video, part of the June Virtual Public Information Center for the Brantford Transportation Master Plan Update. My name is Paul Bumstead, and I will be presenting the following slides on behalf of Dillon Consulting Limited, the consulting firm selected by the City of Brantford to assist with this project. The purpose of this video is to provide answers to the questions and comments that have been submitted in response to the Virtual Public Information Center materials posted to the project website on June 9th. The process for the Public Information Center, or PIC for short, is shown on this slide. A PIC presentation video was posted to the project webpage on June 9th. From June 9th to June 23rd, there was a question and comment period. The questions and comments submitted during this period were considered for inclusion in this question and answer video, which was first posted to the project webpage on June 30th. Following this Q&A video, there will be a second question period from June 30th to July 17th. Following this period, a question list and frequently asked questions with answers will be posted to the project webpage on July 28th. Questions related to Wayne Gretzky Parkway and Park Road North. Question: shouldn't widening Wayne Gretzky Parkway north of 403 to Powerline Road be needed in conjunction with the Wayne Gretzky Parkway extension north of Powerline Road? Answer: Slide 38 of the PIC material, entitled 2041 Preliminary Recommended Plan Performance, indicates that the 4-lane cross-section of Wayne Gretzky Parkway will be adequate to service the forecast demand to 2041. The corridor should be protected for a potential widening to 6 lanes as volume demand may warrant beyond the 2041 horizon of the Transportation Master Plan. Question: are any improvements identified for Park Road North? Answer: no lane capacity improvements are proposed for Park Road North, south of Powerline Road. Local intersection improvements will be required to optimize travel flow and accommodate changes in other road cross sections, example at Powerline Road and at Park Road North. North of Powerline Road, a realignment of Park Road North will be required as it intersects with the future Wayne Gretzky Parkway. This realignment and intersection will be subject of a future environmental assessment study for the Wayne Gretzky Parkway extension. Questions related to the Oak Park Road extension. Question: TMP Slide 8. The Oak Park Road and Highway 403 interchange upgrade is currently under construction at a cost of $6.75 million, with completion expected by the end of 2020. One could conclude from this that the city is determined to construct the Oak Park Road extension regardless of any objections by the citizens of Brantford. Could you please comment? Answer: the upgrades to the Oak Park Road interchange are being conducted as a result of the planned growth in the Northwest Business Park. The need is independent of the potential future Oak Park Road extension. Question: TMP Slide 11. Is it too early to consider the effects of COVID-19 or a future pandemic on transit ridership? I assume no effects have been included in the ridership numbers in the TMP. Answer: yes, it would be premature to speculate on the impacts of future transit ridership as a result of COVID-19. The long-term impacts of the pandemic and associated restrictions are not known and will not be known for some time. This analysis was conducted prior to the COVID-19 outbreak in Canada, and as such, no potential COVID-19 effects have been included. In looking 20 years into the future, the assumption is that there will always be checks and balances and shifts in outlooks. The goal of the long-term analysis is to flatten the impacts of such shifts and set reasonable targets that meet the long-term community vision. Question: TMP Slide 13. Comparing Slide 8 to Slide 13, the overcapacity on Hardy Road has been eliminated due to TDM. Is this correct? Yes, TDM does result in reduced volume forecasts on Hardy Road. The impact of this reduction appears magnified due to the change from at or above capacity to approaching capacity. In practice, the effects of TDM on Hardy Road are much more modest, as Hardy is just over capacity in the due minimal network and is just under capacity in the TDM network. Question: TMP Slides 13 and 14. Comparing Slides 13 and 14, the construction of the Oak Park Road extension does not appear to have any effect on the overcapacity issues on Veterans Memorial Parkway and Clarence Street. Please comment. Answer: The Oak Park Road extension is expected to divert between 300 to 500 vehicles from the Paris Road Brant Avenue corridor and the Lorne Bridge, as referenced in slide 16. With respect to the Veterans Memorial Parkway and Clarence Street, based on trip distribution patterns of vehicles using Veterans Memorial Parkway and Clarence Street, shown on slides 23 and 28 of the PIC material, the Oak Park Road extension will have little to no impact on the future volumes on either the Veterans Memorial Parkway and Clarence Street. Question. TMP slides 14 and 29. With the construction of the Oak Park Road extension, a new area of overcapacity appears on Colbert Street West between County Road 7, Pleasant Ridge Road, and Daubigny Road. Is construction of the Oak Park Road extension simply going to result in moving traffic congestion from one part of the city to another? Answer. The role of Oak Park Road extension is to serve a specific future demand that would and should be diverted from a current corridor that is not capable of serving that demand. Overcapacity demand in the existing corridor, Paris Road and Brant Street, and on Lorne Bridge, results in neighborhood infiltration that local roads are not designed to accommodate. Yes, the extension results in some additional pressure points, but these pressure points can be mitigated. The section of Colburn Street West between County Road 7, Pleasant Ridge Road, and Daubigny Road currently has a 3-lane cross-section, 2 lanes westbound and 1 lane eastbound. It will require road widening to match the existing 4-lane cross-section east of Daubigny Road. This road widening is included in the recommended plan. Question. TMP slides 16, 20, 21, 24, 26, and 29. The V over C ratios shown on these slides are those of the forecast 2041 due minimal traffic volumes. Could the consultant include additional VC ratios using the forecast volumes in which the only alternative strategy is the construction of Oak Park Road extension, no TDM, TSM, or road widening? This would directly show the benefit of the Oak Park Road extension to reducing the overcapacity on these roads. On slides 20 and 23, the diagrams are very small and the V over C numbers are illegible. Could these numbers be enlarged? Answer. The due minimal scenario reflects a 2041 condition with no additional TDM, TSM, or road widenings. The aforementioned slides identify the travel demands and patterns of the problem areas and corridors and provides commentary on the potential for various alternatives to address that problem. As we are looking at a system-wide plan to address citywide issues, the 2041 network assessment tests the alternatives in a system context. The volumes of the 2041 preferred plan assessment show significant demand on Oak Park Road, confirming its significant role in the future network. Testing the extension in isolation would only result in additional demand for the facility. With respect to font sizes, these will be improved and provided in the next steps of the project. Question. I've read a number of articles recently regarding a phenomenon called induced demand, which refers to the idea that increasing roadway capacity encourages more people to drive, thus failing to improve congestion. With this in mind, is it possible that the construction of the Oak Park Road extension will only reduce traffic congestion on the city streets in question for a few years, after which time we find that congestion reappears on those same streets? Answer. Existing corridors are shown not to be able to accommodate future forecasts. The Oak Park Road extension is required to serve specific future travel demands between West Brant and Northwest Brantford / Highway 403. The need and role of this infrastructure has been determined both on the basis of no TDM, TSM, or road widening, as well as with target TDM and TSM levels. As the demand has been consciously set to match aggressive policy goals for limiting the demand for automobile infrastructure, there will be limited room for induced growth of auto demand in the future due to the implementation of the Oak Park Road extension. Even with the addition of Oak Park Road extension, very high volume demand is still expected on Brant Avenue and the Lorne Bridge, and as such, induced demand is not considered applicable to this condition. Question. Based on discussions with councillors, the perspectives of residents living in the Ava Road area are being valued over other Brantford residents. Could you comment on this? Answer. The problems, opportunities, and alternatives are being considered in the context of a multi-criteria evaluation and finding the best fit solutions that meet the needs of the entire community and city. No single stakeholder or stakeholder group is being valued above others. Question. The TMP makes assumptions about the transportation decision-making of residents commuting from the West Brent area to the east, i.e. assuming people will travel west to then go east. Please comment on how this is known. Answer. The transportation analysis relies on existing traffic data, vehicle volume counts, recent travel behavior survey for the community, the 2016 Transportation Tomorrow Survey, which provides trip purpose, origin destination, and travel mode information for the Greater Toronto Area and surrounding area, including Brantford, and forecast land use information. This information is used by the city's transportation planning tools to forecast travel behavior and magnitude of trips for the city, broken down into discrete traffic analysis zones. This allows the project team to develop an understanding of the origin and destination of trips forecast for 2041. Question. In the Oak Park Road Extension Feasibility Study final report, there is no discussion regarding connections with Brant County that could be more fiscally responsible than the alternatives considered. Could you comment on why the city is not engaged with Brant County to facilitate mutually beneficial solutions? Answer. The TMP project team has engaged with the County of Brant regarding the problems and opportunities and the assessment of the alternatives. The project team will continue to engage the county through to the completion of the study. Further, the city has recently initiated the Oak Park Road Extension Environmental Assessment Study, which will include the county as a key stakeholder. The EA will confirm the requirements of the project, develop an implementation plan, and prepare preliminary designs for the proposed infrastructure. In addition, the city is working with the county on a joint strategic transportation plan to review cross-boundary and joint transportation issues. The project website for the EA is shown here. Question. The proposed plan discusses how about 900 cars per peak hour will be reduced from Brant Avenue, Colborne Street, and Veterans Memorial Parkway combined, and that commute time will decrease by about 5 minutes for those commuting. Can you explain how these numbers warrant the expense of the proposed plan? Answer. The specific outcome related to travel time noted here is not a specific TMP outcome. Generally speaking, however, travel time savings of a group of users expanded to annual benefits over many years can be significant. In combination with the environmental benefits of reduced idling from reduced delay and shorter travel distances, more direct routes, as well as improving the overall safety of the network, reduced collisions, less neighborhood infiltration, are also key to understanding the benefits of the investment. Question. What will happen at the entrance to Brant Park? Answer. The city recently initiated an environmental assessment study which will assess alternative alignments and designs for the proposed extension. This will include details related to the entrance to Brant Park. Please monitor the city's website for notices and information. Question. The public notice in the Brantford Expositor on June 11 uses ambiguous language regarding the bridge that will be required to complete this proposed plan. Quote, Transportation Master Plan of 2014 recommends the extension include a 4-lane arterial road with a crossing over the Grand River. Mention of a bridge is also not clear in other editions of the proposed plan. A bridge will impact the cost of the proposed plan substantially. Please comment on how the crossing, i.e. the bridge, will be accounted for in today's dollars, not past projections for the bridge cost. To be transparent with taxpayers, clarification of the cost of both the road and crossing, the bridge, is necessary. Answer. In the next phase of the Transportation Master Plan update, costs for the recommended plan, including various programs, service, and infrastructure, will be prepared using today's 2020 dollars, using current planning and engineering benchmark unit costs. The recommended plan will be prioritized into discrete time periods in order to provide guidance to the 10-year capital program. Further, more detailed construction costs will be established as part of the ongoing environmental assessment study. Question. There is no indication of the progression of the Transportation Master Plan, i.e. at which end construction will begin. Are we to take the Oak Park Road and Highway 403 interchange upgrade as an indication of the intended direction? Answer. The future outcome of the TMP is a recommended plan for service and infrastructure. This will include an implementation plan identifying the priorities, timing, and general costs for the individual projects. These steps will be undertaken subsequent to the confirmation of the current recommended plan. The upgrades to the Oak Park Road interchange are being conducted as a result of the planned growth in the Northwest Business Park. This need is independent of the potential future Oak Park Road extension. The next step for the Oak Park Road extension, the EA, has been initiated by the city. Question: is compensation for the residents living along the proposed Oak Park Road extension to address the variety of impacts this project will have, example, environmental, damage, noise, etc., being considered? Answer: the Transportation Master Plan is considering the impacts noted in the evaluation of the alternatives. The specific impacts of the implementation of a project will be the scope of the environmental assessment, as will be the identification of any mitigation and compensation potentials. Questions related to the North Expansion area. Question: the plans show an arterial or collector road connection in the expansion lands north of Powerline Road, east of King George Road, extending north through the existing natural area. On what land parcel is this road proposed? Answer: the alignment of this connection is conceptual at this time. Specific alignments of these development roadways will be the subject of future development submissions. Question: within the expansion lands, there is a proposed collector road traveling parallel to Powerline Road, with proposed connections southerly to Powerline Road. How will this road be funded? And, given multiple landowners, how will coordination be addressed to ensure that the road is completed in a timely and complete manner? Answer: the timing and design elements of this roadway and other connections required to support development will be the subject of future EAs or draft plans of subdivision as development progresses. Question: the 2041 preliminary recommended plan shows only one potential connection northerly to extend through the natural area to provide access to future lands located outside the urban boundary. However, Schedule 11 does not illustrate this same roadway as part of the bike and trails network. There is a proposed off-road trail system within the natural area, east-west. Shouldn't this connection also be shown? Answer: this comment is noted. The noted roadway extension northerly is conceptual and the subject of future development-related study. At such time as the roadway need and alignment is confirmed, it would be important to provide active transportation in this corridor. Questions related to plan implementation. Question: are cost estimates available for the recommended alternatives? Answer: as part of the project next steps, cost estimates for the recommended plan will be developed using current planning and engineering unit cost benchmarks. Question: the master plan's review identifies a number of improvements with existing infrastructure, roads, water, sanitary, while there is no discussion related to any programs planned either through the 10-year capital program and/or the development charge bylaw / development charge background study that would provide for the identified improvements. Can this be provided? Answer: as part of the project next steps, cost estimates for the recommended plan will be developed using current planning and engineering unit cost benchmarks. An implementation plan identifying the plan priorities will be developed to inform both the 10-year capital program and the development charges process. Question: given the impact of COVID-19 and other pressing government cuts and priorities on the city's budget, example, cuts to transfers from provincial government for healthcare, fulsomely addressing homelessness, how is the proposed plan being funded, or even the top priority? Answer: the cost and potential funding for the recommended plan will be prepared as part of the project's next steps. Ultimately, the decision related to the spending of fiscal budgets are made by Council on the recommendation of city departments and not an outcome of the TMP. Question: the master plan's review identifies a significant amount of new infrastructure required. However, it does not discuss how these improvements will be funded. A discussion on funding should be provided. Answer: a high-level discussion related to funding will be included as part of the development of the implementation plan in the project's next steps. Thank you for taking the time to watch this question and answer video. If you wish to submit comments or would like to be added to the project's stakeholder list, please contact either Chris Fong, the project manager at the City of Brantford, or Paul Bumstead, the project manager for Dillon Consulting. Chris's email address is cfong@brantford.ca. Paul's email address is pbumstead@dillon.ca. PIC materials are available at the project website. Comments submitted by July 21st will be considered for the frequently asked questions list, which will be posted July 28th. It is preferred that requests be added to the stakeholder list be sent by email, if possible, and any questions and comments on the PIC materials be submitted electronically via the project webpage or by phone or email.